Bro, Tucker Carlson just casually reveals that in private conversations, Charlie Kirk admitted he didn't like Bibi Netanyahu, he didn't like Israel's relationship with the United States, and he didn't support the genocide in Gaza. So as most of you know by now, due to the excellent reporting of Max Blumenthal on The Gray Zone, it was mentioned that Bill Ackman threatened Charlie Kirk and said that he is not allowed to let Tucker Carlson speak at his would-have-been upcoming event in December. So, seems like Tucker Carlson took exception to that and the fact that he's been attacked and decided to tell the world about the private conversations Charlie Kirk had with Tucker and how he really felt about Israel.
He did not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said it to people around him many times. He felt that Bibi Netanyahu was a very destructive force. He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza. He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it. Didn't hate Netanyahu. He wasn't out there with a placard saying that, but he certainly expressed that to me and a lot of other people. And there's no question that Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact. And enough text messages exist that I think it can probably be verified in pretty short order. Not that it needs to be, because that is true.
Now, some people heard this and immediately thought to themselves, we told you it's because of his pivot on Israel. We knew that's the reason. Yeah, no, that is the wrong takeaway here, actually. Because that conversation seemed to be more than a year ago. Charlie Kirk had always had a problem with Israel's relationship with the United States and failed to tell his audience. Charlie Kirk always had a problem with the genocide Israel is committing in Gaza, but not only did he fail to tell his audience, but he even made fun of the genocide, saying that, oh, it's well known that Palestinians throw gays off the buildings, but, you know, there's no more buildings left to throw gays off of. Ha 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 ha.
So, you know, it's funny. I used to say that, hey, if you as a gay person would go to Gaza, they'd throw you off of tall buildings, right? Now they don't have any tall buildings left, so I don't.
Charlie Kirk, since October 7th, up until maybe a month or so ago, led the world to believe that he and Bibi Netanyahu were on fabulous terms. He had no legitimate criticisms about how he was handling the situation in Gaza. In other words, Charlie Kirk lied and pretended that he supported a genocide and pretended that Israel was justified in committing a genocide for a fucking paycheck, which effectively means anything that Charlie Kirk has claimed in the name of his ideology, you can't really believe, because we are learning that he is willing to lie about support for a genocide that he was supposedly disgusted by because it paid his bills, which probably means none of the outrage he expressed in his videos and his debates was genuine. It was all for clicks. It was all for money. This doesn't make Charlie Kirk look better. It actually makes him look feckless. It makes him look weak. It makes him look like a puppet who was scared to cut his strings. And that pivot that he looked like he was making towards the last month of his career wasn't genuine. He just saw where the wind was blowing and realized his bottom line could be affected if he did not start calling out Israel, because they were clearly and are clearly losing the propaganda war. So effectively, the Senate just unanimously decided to give a day to a man who lied about supporting a genocide that he didn't even really support because he wanted money. Wow, like the US really sucks, man, right? Like, these are your heroes, and you wonder why y'all are cooked.